got East Coast time yet?
Yeah, I think I'm there. Almost there. Feel pretty good.
Not me.
Yeah, nah.
How you sum up the whole experience?
It was good. It was a good experience. I think we don't take for granted when you go to places like that, or when you travel or go somewhere as a team. There's probably like all the little bonding situations that sometimes you don't think is fully bonding. I think having a lot of our meals together and stuff like that, just like little situations where you bond a little bit more. Obviously, the bigger events where we're all together as family and stuff, that's more of a bonding situation. But here, you kind of don't eat breakfast, you don't eat lunch together when you're here because people might have their own chefs at home and you leave right after practice. So I think those bonding situations when it comes to like eating and walking around the hotel or the resort and seeing each other. You know what I'm saying? We go back home here, you don't see nobody unless you're neighbors with somebody. So I think just those bonding times always are really helpful.
When Mike got the job, and I assume you guys talked shortly after he was hired, how long does it take before you guys even talk basketball? Like how much of it was just getting to know each other? I don't know if you guys had a relationship before.
Yeah. No, man, I don't know. I think kind of just goes. I think there's no time limit. It's kind of wherever the moment is. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you meet them, whatever your mindset is at the moment. I saw him just excited to meet him and stuff like that. And I don't know. We didn't talk much. I was just working out. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it. I think it's just whatever situation. I think there's no time. I don't remember the time we started talking basketball. Maybe it was the second time or third time, but we was in the gym when we met. So that's doing basketball right there.
When you guys talk about it, the system, it seemed like from Thursday, like the first game on, it just seems made for what you do. He says run and run fast. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You run more than anybody in the league. Is it? Do you just feel like this is a good fit for you now?
Yeah, I mean personally, yeah, and then for our team as well. I think it's a great fit for all of us. Talent we have, and 1 through 15. I mean, we got 20 guys in there today, or throughout this camp, so 1 through 20. I think it fits for everybody, and everybody be unselfishly and making the right play and being aggressive. So, not just personally me. I think it just helps the team a lot.
There was lots been made about the changes offensively, speeding things up, but defensively, what are the big changes that you guys are making on that side of the court?
I think our coverage is just a little different. Just when it comes to shifting and stuff like that. I think just concepts. Make sure our verbiage is always different with different coaches, different systems. So I think just more emphasis in being aggressive when you're off the ball. Obviously, the usual X and out means when being help and rotation stuff like the usual NBA. I think every coach has that, but I think just emphasis of shifting and helping, the guy on ball a little bit more.
It take a while to kind of not think now and then know what he wants as far as those schemes.
Yeah, I mean we practice and we drill them every day, so we have a lot of drills throughout training camp, and now we had an earlier training camp, and even working out, before, just the coaches, attention to detail and pushing us. So it's becoming second nature, but with things it takes time, but, just keep learning every single day. And, I think the biggest thing you could take away is when you're in the games, that's when if you understand that it's a little bit easier in practice when it gets to coaches and it's, 5-on-0 and it's a little bit slower, but in the game when you're tired and a lot of guys moving around, I think, that's where you grow the most when you're playing in those games.
So Malcolm was talking yesterday about, how things have had to change and how it compares to games because of how many games he's lost due to injury. I mean,
who's that? Malk, yeah.
Yeah, you're a guy who's never missed a game. Just what do you give him? I don't know if you give him advice, but do you give him anything from your experience being healthy all along to try to help him try to stay on the course longer this year?
Malk. When I met Malk, he was talking about it. He was just like, how do you play every game and stuff? And he knows. I told him this initial I think everything goes in within with training and strength training and being on the table and getting work done, massages, cold tubs, etc. All that just treatment wise. But also, I was to say, it's just sometimes, you know, people's bodies, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I think I'm just blessed, and the mix of my parents kind of helped, you know, me where, you know, I could get knee in the thigh and have a, you know, thigh contusion or something, and I could be able to, you know, my leg would be okay where I kind of heal quicker than others. And there's other guys that get knee to quad, and their quad is like a balloon, and you can't move it at all. So I think it goes with a lot. Everybody's different. I just think I just blessed with, you know, my parents got some genes that help me just absorb and recover quicker.
Yeah, is that a question a lot of guys ask you, how you stay healthy? Like, is that people blow you up asking how they can?
Yeah, randomly. You know, sometimes it might be in person, or sometimes it might be just like, you know, I might see somebody just joking around and be like, damn, how do you play so many games? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I kind of just tell them the same thing. I'm like, it's not like I do no crazy magic thing where I do everything they probably do, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just staying on top of it, and then knowing your body as well. You know, I know my body pretty well, and I feel like if something's aching me a little bit, or if my mental kind of could tell something is off, and I got to go do something like recovery wise or something, just to be sure. So I always play it safe.
What you were able to do in the playoffs last year, kind of put it together offensively, defensively, what you flashed at times. Just how is it in the back of your mind at all to want to start quicker, I guess, this year with that and kind of carry over what you did in the playoffs? Is that in the back of your mind at all?
Yeah, I think I just be better. Yeah, just, you know, be better throughout the whole year. Playoffs, I think, defensively I was better. But I still think I could have done a lot better and even more on both sides. So, you know, credit that I had. You know, people think I had a pretty good playoffs, but I still think I could have done way more. But just starting the season off strong, and you know, and just be better than, you know, I was last year.
The way this offense kind of flows, do you feel like that'll lead to maybe you having a more consistent role offensively from the start, just as far as like shots and getting into a rhythm and whatnot?
Yeah, I think that's for everybody. I think our system, you know, has opportunity for everybody, and you know, I think we lean on each other, and we all can make the right play, make the right read. So, yeah, I think it's beneficial for everybody, and for sure.
Yesterday, Mike told us that you guys haven't really even put in plays yet. It's more just like concepts in which he wanted to, for when plays do break down, you guys just know how you're supposed to play.
Yeah.
How unique is that in your experience in this league, just to be this point in camp, and you guys we don't have a Mikal package or a Jalen package. I'm sure there's some stuff, but just to be able to like not have like built-in plays and you're playing off read react type stuff.
I like it a lot. I mean, obviously, you know, I think the biggest thing that helps is that a lot of us was here, you know, last year and stuff. But I feel like plays you can learn the plays a little bit faster than concepts. You know, I think concepts you got to start from the beginning and really grow them out, and every single day work on them. Plays, you kind of throw in some plays and learn them, but I think you learn them pretty fast. I think it's bigger concepts because, you know, throughout the 82 season game, and you know, throughout the 3 quarters and even some of the fourth, you know, you're not even thinking about plays sometimes, and usually the most times you call a play will probably be after timeout, so you got times to draw it up. But you know, I think, you know, especially the regular season goes, those first 3 quarters and stuff, you're just playing fast and you're just trying to get stops and go score. We know we're in concept wise, and obviously the fourth quarter will slow down a little bit, and that's where, you know, where you utilize those plays and everything. But other than that, I feel like you got so much room, so much time where you don't need plays as much in the concept, and it makes you just play basketball. You know, there's no thinking, and it'll be tougher for the defensive guard because on offense you don't know what you're about to do. You know, it's all read and react. You know, if that guy step up, I might back cut. If that guy guards me here, I might curl this guy, or I might, you know what I'm saying? So puts pressure on defense because, you know, it's just playing. You know, and I've been playing like that since high school and college. When I was in Phoenix as well, you know, it's just concepts at the end of the day, and you just reacting, and you know, you got really good players go make plays and see if the guy is wide open on the cut or skipping the pass. But I think we got the team to where we can really react, and it'll benefit us.